I'm in a Publix parking lot, guys. You know me. If I'm in a parking lot, I gotta be up to something. Well, I'm up to good this time. I'm not up to no good. I'm here, I'm meeting a buddy of mine. He's got a company that is producing these badass intercoolers and parts for jet skis. If you guys don't know him, this is Mr. Fizzle himself. What's up, man?
What's up?
So he set me up with this awesome intercooler. This is going to be, well, this is actually piping. We're going to be doing a blow-off valve on Carla's ski. But this is the Fizzle 500 kit. I'm going to take this out of the box in a minute, but I just wanted to introduce you guys to Fizzle. If you guys have any questions about his kits and stuff, make sure you go to his website. What's the website?
Fizzlefactory.com.
Fizzlefactory.com. Easy stuff. He makes a lot of stuff for the Yamahas. Sea-Doo and Yamaha. No Kawasaki's. What's that tell you? So the fastest skis are obviously Yamaha. That's what I'm going to go with. And you guys, that was a slap at Sea-Doo. Even though I used to have Sea-Doo, you know that. And we're gonna get this thing out of the box. We're gonna check it out and see exactly what we're working with. He swears that this thing is gonna be the best intercooler I can get, right?
Yep.
That's right. Okay, so let's get to the house and get this thing unboxed. All right, so we just put the Fizzle HKS blow-off valve on Carla's ski. So we're gonna start it up. Really simple installation. It replaces the factory hose that's here, or silicone coupler, and this installs. You just angle it to where you want it, hook up your vacuum line. We're ready to rip. You ready? Here we go. You like that?
Oh my god.
So there you go. Easy installation. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put in this intercooler now. And you can see everything is completely stock on this ski, except for the intake pipe there. But it's all stock, so everything should come apart as normal. It is a high hour ski that was ridden in salt water, so I'm expecting some corrosion. I've already replaced a lot of clamps. You can see down there I put all new clamps to replace the old rusty stuff. Some of the rusty ones are still in place, but they're still holding. So I'll end up replacing everything as I go through the whole ski, but for now we're gonna focus on the intercooler. There's the stock intercooler down there tucked in pretty tight, so gotta get some stuff out of the way to get to it, but I'll spare you guys the details and I'll just keep plugging away at this. First step, get all the wiring and the fuel rail out of the way. So now we have access to these bolts. Now we'll unhook the intercooler piping from the factory intercooler and pull the intake manifold off of the block to gain access below it. Stock intercooler is now out. A lot more room coming up there. So this is considerably smaller than the new one. So to gain access enough to get the big one in here, you have to either remove the supercharger or remove the intake manifold. And Fizzle told me that it was actually easier to do the manifold, so I trust him. I'll do it that way. I am going to be replacing the supercharger, but not yet. We're going to do the intercooler first, so let's go ahead and keep doing that. And we got everything back together. Saved you the details. So there it is, intercooler's installed, everything's back together. We're gonna crank it up and see how she sounds. Let's see. That sounds nice. Whew. It's hot out here. It took me a while to do this, so I'm happy I got it done. Now we'll do a little clip with the seat on. So a little bit muffled sound. We'll see what it's like. Pretty quiet. I love it. So as you can see, that was a lot quieter with the seat on. And the theme of this ski for me so far is kind of stealth, kind of sleeper. Excuse me for not wearing a shirt. It's hot and I'm done cooking. At least the sun's going down now and I'm about to go in the pool. But like I was saying, the theme of the ski is really kind of sleeper. I don't want it to look fast per se. I just want it to be unassuming and then have some good potential. So shout out to Fizzle. Great job. The kit works perfect, or fits perfectly. We're going to go test it. That's going to be the next step. We're going to take it to the water. Hopefully we'll get there by this weekend, next video. I've got some more stuff coming. Obviously, you guys know the Hall Tech. I have the supercharger. That's going to be a cakewalk to install now because the intercooler bracket, the stock intercooler bracket's gone. Makes it a lot easier to access that supercharger. So we'll do the supercharger, the Hall Tech and stuff. But first, before I do all that stuff, I want to take it to the water and see what the gains are. Supposedly, now the only reason I say supposedly is because I haven't seen any proof of this yet, but I think that it's very possible. Supposedly, there's a gain of about 200 RPM from doing this intercooler. So if that's true, we should be tapping that rev limiter now, and that will be a sign that there's a lot more power on tap. How much power is that? I think 200 RPM is probably close to 15 or maybe even 20 horsepower. So James Fizzle, he said that that's what happens, and we're going to slam that limiter. So I'd like to see that before we put the Hall Tech in. I'd like to see that rev limiter get smashed, and that will show me that we've gained that power and prove the value in this. Now, remember, I'm also still only at 6 pounds of boost. So, you know, as we increase the boost, those gains are going to get, the expo is going to get a little bit bigger. So we're going to have more gain. And at 15 pounds of boost, which is what I'm hoping to see with the 2020 Charger, well, at least 14 pounds, the gain's going to be higher. So we're going to pick up big power from the supercharger alone and then keep it cooler. That's what the whole theme there is with the intercooler. I think with that extra 6 to 7 pounds of boost on tap, we should expect to see 50, 60 horsepower. So realistically, the ski is probably a 220 horsepower ski to begin with. And with that extra 60, 70 horsepower, we're close to that 300 horsepower mark. 300, I think, is the magic number. We hit 300, we'll be able to do some great acceleration. We'll be able to have awesome top speed, and it's going to really change the entire theme of that ski. It's going to feel really good. So let's see how that transpires. The Hall Tech's on the way. Hopefully that gets to us next week sometime. I'd really like to plop that on actually before the supercharger even, and just unlock as much potential as we can out of the stock supercharged setup. But the intercooler fits great. The Turbosmart blow-off valve is awesome. I didn't get a chance to show you Carla's during the day. You saw I had just made a little clip, but let me show you now that we're in the daylight. So Carla's ski already has an SVHO supercharger on it. Not a 2020, but it is a later model. So this supercharger is already making 13, 14 pounds of boost. We tested it. Also has the SVHO intercooler, which you can tell because it's got 2 water outlets on the top there. So her setup is making some good power already. That's my competition. But this is the upgrade kit from Fizzle. You can see it replaces the factory piece, which is over here. This is the factory piece, which doesn't have any provisions for a blow-off valve. You just take that off and put this one on. So we went with the HKS super sequential blow-off valve, and it sounds really cool, as you can tell in the video. Easy to hook up, real simple, looks great, sounds awesome. Can't wait to get it back to the water. One problem that we were having with the ski is the intermediate housing is leaking. So I'm going to be fixing that next on this ski. It's going to be quite a job. I got to loosen up the motor mounts and move the motor, actually pull the motor out forward to get that stub shaft and intermediate housing out. Not looking forward to it, but it is just the nature of the beast with jet skis. You got to be able to work on them. If you can't, you're going to spend some money. And you're going to spend some money even if you can't work on them, now that I'm thinking about it, and that makes me sad. But then riding the jet ski makes me happy. So I'm okay with it, I think. Anyway, stay tuned for that. We'll get on that, and we'll get the sound comparison on the water. I like to hear these things in full swing. Really, really happy with the installs so far. So if you're interested in a Fizzle intercooler, check out fizzlefactory.com and see what they have for you. I like this kit. It's an economical kit compared to the 1000. Apparently it's a little smaller core, and it's just not as overwhelmingly over the top. And for this setup, I don't need that. We don't need that. The 1000 kit is for, you know, those bigger horsepower setups, and this kit's, I think, perfect for that 300 horsepower level. So check them out yourself. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one. On the water, I hope.